I just read that someone in London gets stabbed every 52 seconds. Poor guy. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations theropod, this is Modern Escapism. Welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, the one with an arsehole like a chewed orange. Joining me today, ex-Premiership Chris Beater, it's Stig.
Hello.
Human pincushion creator and skin artist, it's Candy.
All right, lads.
And the Velvet Mountain himself, it's Gadget.
Hello.
Biggie is still away with the international shits. He will
Still
be
got
back.
the shits.
He will be back at some point. No one knows where he is,
He'll look
why
like
he is, who he is.
He'll look like a spelk when he comes back. Just shit everything out.
Exactly. But he will be back. It's just the four of us. How is everyone doing?
I'm doing marvellous. Just got back from meals.
He's been on holiday, has he? He's been on. How do you know someone's been on holiday? They'll tell you.
Exactly, and I'm going to fucking tell you.
Tell us, where have you been, son?
I've been down to the southwest. Of the UK.
Okay.
Towards Bristol way and beyond.
Oh.
We stayed at the International Home of Cheese, Cheddar.
Huh, well, yeah.
Yeah, with its lovely, beautiful gorge. I went to see Candy, and she got her crayons out.
Mm-hmm.
And she
I
drew on me.
crayoned you up good.
Yeah.
Well, has she drawn on you now? Can we see what she's drew on you?
Yeah, so it's on my forearm.
Delicious.
Look
at that.
Hang on, I'll bring the camera down so you can see it proper. So I got
this
a bonfire from
this
Dark
podcast
Souls.
is on YouTube.
Yes.
Yep.
Ooh,
Not a
crispy, look at
penis in
that.
there. I'm disappointed, Candy.
There is.
There's
She's
no
covered
what?
it up.
You don't know.
It's underneath
There
the
actually was. I had to disguise the peen.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's absolutely stunning. It pops lovely, that.
So I'm currently in the crispy stage where everything's like quite scarred up and looking gnarly when you look close at it. But
Candy, wait while he's messaging you in the middle of the night going, why is it so itchy?
Yeah, I know, right?
we
Watch it when it's itchy.
Yes.
Oh god, I'm not looking forward to the itch. I did. We did have to apologise to the Airbnb owners because the morning after we got the tattoos, we woke up and their pristine white bedding was imprinted with our tattoos.
Yeah, I should have told you about that. Sorry.
Yeah, that does also happen, mate. That does also happen.
Also, was quite surprised at the first washing of said tattoo when just all this gunk flows out of your arm. Like
It's the black fluff for me. Like, where does the black fluff come from?
I have no
Became
idea.
the bed.
There's always black fluff.
But no, it was a fun experience, and I got to hang out with Acid Pearl as well.
She's boring, isn't she?
Oh, she's a fucking lunatic.
Mm.
I've never seen. I thought you had a lot of pop vinyls. Nah, I've never seen someone with so many fucking pop vinyls in their office.
But
Yeah,
I thought she brought you with her. Like, I've got my bag of pop vinyls.
Well, so both Candy and Acid Pearl have these stacks of pop vinyls in their working areas. Candy's are all themed though; they're all Fallout ones.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas,
It's Fallout and Butt Stallion, because Butt Stallion hasn't found a home yet.
yeah, but Acid Pearl has so many of them; it's unreal.
We had to pull an intervention. It was bad.
I've got one.
But yeah, beyond that, we had a day in Bristol where we got to see the SS Great Britain, big steamer ship.
Oh yeah.
I bashed my head 6 times in it because turns out people in the 1800s were a lot shorter than me.
Yeah. I'd be fucked.
We also went over to Wales
Not me.
and we met Supernatural.
Stick would be fine.
You'd be
Be
fine
doing
with that,
star
Stig.
jumps in it.
Cartwheels and everything.
What's it?
Just imagine Stig being like a little hobbit. Wee!
So
A stocky
many room,
hobbit, though.
so much room
A
for
stocky.
activities.
A hench hobbit, Stig. Hench.
Well, Stig, if you want to get competitive with someone when you go down there, they do a thing where you can, I think you pay like £12 each and they'll let you climb up the rigging to the crow's
He'd
nest.
do it. He'd do it. That
Rigging in the
fucker.
rigging.
I'm not competitive, mate.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know where you get that from.
We went over to Wales and we met Supernaticat and Robotic Monkey. That was fun.
Lovely country. Lovely
Yeah.
country.
We went up to this pub that was the most Welsh pub in the world.
Can you pronounce it?
Nope. They sent
The
us
property
pizza,
ping.
where we ordered pizzas
The
for some reason.
microwave.
You know that traditional Welsh food pizza.
Yeah.
and we met a flat earther, so that was fun.
Not flatbreader.
Flatbreader.
And then you'll hate this one. So we went camping with one Pip's friends.
I love camping.
Up on the hill he owns.
Oh.
Yes, he is a man that was born into land, and he has
owns
this
land.
giant.
I don't like him.
He has this giant fucking hill outside of Loxton. He drives you up in.
Does he wear a paisley jacket and he's got a rifle on his arm?
No, he's more like, think of like an American redneck, but with a West Country accent.
Sounds hellish.
You missed out one detail about your pizza. Not your pizza specifically. Somebody else's pizza.
Oh, yes. Subernati Cat is also a food pervert and does not eat her pizza handles.
Quite right.
So
Why would she?
She has to go down into the fire with Candy.
Disgusting. Yes, she's
Honestly.
in. We don't do that feature anymore, but she's in.
She's in.
I think you two are separated at birth.
Yeah, which one's the oldest?
I am. We have
Well,
the
you
English,
should know
the
better
channel,
as the
the
older
Bristol
sister.
Channel between us.
The swimmable channel. Very, very swimmable.
Oh yeah. You can basically walk it when the tide's out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Still
Done
be
it
full of
myself.
shit though.
But
Yeah, full of the south.
it was a lovely little holiday, and we got to see a lot of people, and we had a great deal of fun. And surprisingly, didn't spend too much money. It was spent.
Thanks for the invite again.
I mean, you're welcome to come, but it's the South Oodles, and they charge more than £1.80
He
a
knows
pint.
me too well. He knows me
It's
too
nice
well.
down there. I like going around there.
Yeah,
I like going down there.
It's nice. The roads are fun to drive, especially when you get off the motorway and you get into the backcountry roads. You can get up a bit of speed, and people drive like psychopaths around there.
I like going in the gorge. Like,
yeah, Cheddar Gorge is fun.
just
I've never
big-
been to Cheddar Gorge.
because sheer like sides
Candy,
of these hills.
even
and mountains
I've been to
ish
Cheddar Gorge.
inside
I've
here.
heard it's like 10 miles away from me.
And it's the
worst-
south.
The worst part about us staying in Cheddar, however, is the people the people who were just trying to recreate a Fast and Furious film, blasting up and down that gorge at all fucking times of the day and night. Yeah. In their motorbikes and their fucking chavved up hot hatches. Oh, the sound was so annoying. But yeah, otherwise, really, really nice time. And I got coloured in.
Hated.
Well, I didn't go on holiday this week. Did you other two go on holiday this week?
I did not go on holiday other than to wherever Baldur's Gate is set.
We'll talk about that very soon.
I had a day
How did you
trip.
go on
I will
holiday?
also talk about that later. Yeah, just a day trip. I'll talk about that later.
Excellent.
You'll hate it.
So, oh god, I was very, very worried this week, thinking he's still away, he's still in international waters, shitting through the eye of a needle. We're not going to have any breaking news. But it turns out he's played a good one, and he's played a blinder. International news. It's time for breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
Gaming news, film news, under my feet. Latest news, weird news, that's all that we need. We got the news, and everybody's like, oh fuck yeah, here comes the news, we got the news, and everybody's like, yesterday we heard it, let's do it again. We got the news, so everybody put your hands in the air. Tonight's the night we say, Biggie's breaking news. 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 Biggie's breaking news.
Absolute banger. You went hard. I'm impressed. That was for me, wasn't it?
You did not have to go that hard, but well done.
Yeah, what a song!
Now I've got
what
now
a
I've got to
cover!
read the news. Whew.
And he's got an hoodie on. Take it off.
I am
That's
not
warm.
really warm now.
Man wears an hoodie anytime. He likes being warm. This kid.
Yeah, it's quite cool here.
Now the aircon unit is working.
Right. Whew. Right. Into the world of gaming. Square Enix shares price drops amid claims Final Fantasy 16 did not meet high-end expectations.
Great.
The publisher reported its Q2 2023 earnings on Friday, during which it stated that the revenue had increased around... What? Oh, revenue had increased around 14 year on year, but profits had dropped around 65%.
That's massive.
In the latest, the company's share price, it's the lowest the company's share price has been since May 2022. And according to Bloomberg, its worst intraday drop in 3 years. It dropped from 6,366 yen to 5,454. And so apparently,
You know
Final
what's
Fantasy
happened?
16
You know what's happened in this last 3 years, though, don't you? Sold half of their IP.
They did. Also,
So
the
knock-on effect.
I love when Square Enix puts stuff out like this. Oh, it didn't meet the high-end sales expectations. Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million units in its first week. What were your fucking expectations, mate?
It's because it cost like $1 billion to make. That's why.
It's just absolutely
It makes me laugh for that
madness.
company. It's happened in way back when as well. They released like the flagship Final Fantasy games, the bad ones, and people go mental for it. Like Final Fantasy 13 sold bucket loads, and it wasn't console exclusive, which is another thing.
Mm.
But then they bring out one that everyone loves, 16, and they don't fucking sell.
No.
And it's console exclusive. Do you see the problem there?
I honestly think Square Enix don't really know what they're doing.
They have no
Yeah, it
fucking
feels like
idea
that.
what they're doing.
Get the
These are
NX
people
bit
that-
out.
No, keep the NX bit in. That's the
No.
Dragon Quest people.
No, Squaresoft was better.
Square
Then
Enix-
NX
up.
came along.
Right. Well, this might explain this latest tweet from Hironobu Sakaguchi.
Yeah.
Hironobu Sakaguchi.
That's the
Sir
guy.
Hironobu
The
Sakaguchi.
creator of Final Fantasy, who praised it by calling it the ultimate fantasy, Final Fantasy, in a tweet earlier this week. So he's obviously trying to drum up a bit of
It's
excitement
fantastic.
on the game.
He don't even work for the company anymore.
Yeah, I know, but he clearly wants to see it do well,
It's
doesn't he?
such
Of course,
a
he
good
created the
game, but
IP.
it happens every time. Final Fantasy 12 is one of the best ones. Didn't sell, did it, Gadget?
No, despite the fact
The
that millions
people-
of people who actually bought it. According to Square
People
Enix,
want the
it
shit
didn't
ones.
sell.
People want the shit ones. But yeah, selling 2 million copies in its opening weekend.
3 million.
How is that a bad thing? They just want they want like destructive. They want GTA 5 numbers, don't they? All these companies, and they're not.
Yeah, but
gonna
I mean, GTA 5's numbers have taken like
Over 10 years.
10 years to appear. You know, it's
Yeah.
like GTA 5 sold well when it was released, but it wasn't until it hit the PS4 and Xbox One that it really.
I
kind
read
of
this
took off.
article, and I read an article attached to this saying that like Final Fantasy 7 that came out in 1997 is still selling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just a slow burn, Square. Relax, dude.
It's
Relax.
not like they're hard up for money.
It's
No,
just the same as
exactly.
it's the same as the movie industry, in it, where everyone wants their film to earn as much as a Marvel film, and it's like
It's just not
gonna
going to
do that.
happen.
No.
It's a single player action RPG for one console, not PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, just PlayStation 5. What the fuck do you want? You've done this to yourselves. That's all I say. Bring it out on everything else.
Yep.
Next.
Next up, Red Dead Redemption is coming to the Switch. So after weeks of teasers and rumors of there being a remaster coming, it wasn't that at all. It's basically Red Dead Redemption is coming on the Switch on the eShop on the 17th of August, and a physical copy is due the 13th of October.
This is potentially the worst platform you could possibly play on it.
Yeah,
Because-
please don't play it on
play
the
it on.
Switch.
Because if you remember, same with Metal Gear Solid 4, it's got an adaptive trigger type thing, hasn't it? It's got
It
some.
does, yeah.
It's got some more like nuance because it was PS3, Xbox 360 generation where triggers had more adaptability. The
Yeah, well, the
Switch
Switch
has
is
none of
on or
this. It's on or off. You're just gonna bang shoot. You know when you play Red Dead Redemption 2, you can squeeze the trigger slightly, can't you, on the quick draw and stuff. You're not gonna get
Yeah.
none of that on this. You're just gonna be bashing arse by accident all the time.
Also, on an addendum to that, they've confirmed that there is a port of it coming to the PS4. A port, not a remaster. It's just
That's
the
disgusting.
PS3 game just pushed onto the PS4.
It's gonna be cheap
and
though, right?
PS5. No, 50 quid.
They can fuck off.
Or if you've got an Xbox, just buy it off the Xbox store. for cheap.
Exactly.
Because
Or get a disc.
I ain't sucking no Xbox dick because I never do, but they've got it right. They've got it fucking
Well, yeah,
right.
because the Xbox has the frame rate boost and the 4K upres. on it.
Exactly. And a great controller to play it on.
Yeah, and
Don't be a moron, guys.
And the daft thing is, the Xbox is doing that with just like top level software the Xbox has. Like, literally zero effort has been put in by Rockstar to make this like acceptable for the users.
I remember playing on the Xbox One S when I had that, playing Lost Odyssey. 60 frames per second, upscaled, up-resed. I'm like,
Great,
this
right?
game's 15 years old and I'm still, it's just done it automatically. Why can't Sony do that?
I've had Red Dead 1 available since the last like several months of the Xbox 360's life because it was on sale for like £4. So I was like, I'll buy that. And then because I never had the next Xbox, I went up to PS4. I just never played it. And then when I was going through my Series X, it was like, oh, all these old games I can play. So it's downloading them, sat there waiting to be played at some point.
It's a good game, especially the DLC.
Yeah.
Fantastic game to play. It's not as serious as the second one. Be ready for the goofball shit because it's goofy as fuck. That first game, it's proper daft.
Did you ever play Red Dead Revolver? That game was fucking insane.
I liked it, but it's a completely different game, innit?
Well,
It was like a corridor shooter thing.
Made by a Japanese dev. It was what the Japanese thought a Wild West game should look like.
I liked Red Dead Revolver, but better than Gun. Remember Gun?
Oh, Gun was bad.
Gun was bad. The Indian slaying simulator. That's what it was. It was titled as. Disgusting.
I completed
Wow.
Gun.
Hated it. Yeah, you could only skin Native Americans in it. What the fuck? You couldn't skin white people.
Yeah, bad cowboys, aren't they? Cowboys are bad.
It's true, mate. It's true. But yeah. Next.
Keith David is the new voice of Zavala in Destiny 2. Following the sad passing of Lance Reddick earlier this year, Bungie have now announced that Keith David will be the new voice of Zavala in Destiny 2. Zavala is one of the most important characters in the story and lore, and Keith David earlier this week put out a video message to fans to say he's honoured to take on the part and he hopes to continue the integrity that Lance brought to the role.
Motherfucker Keith David.
I mean, if you're going to have to replace one of the most iconic black male voices in the industry, the next most iconic black male voice in the industry is perfect.
It's the baritones, isn't it?
Voice.
It's the baritones, the deep guttural,
Keith David's got an
soulful voices that
amazing
they both got.
I could listen to him read the phone book. It'd be great.
Yeah. I loved it when he called himself Motherfucker Keith David.
Because he is motherfucking Keith David.
I love that. I'll always call him that forever. I can't remember who Zavala is, but I played a lot of Destiny 2. And
Zavala's the Titan emissary guy.
I wasn't.
The big blue guy.
Yeah, bald.
I was a hunter, so I probably barely talked to him.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have talked that much to him, but you do encounter him. Like he's very much pushing the story.
Oh, the big red and white armor guy.
Big red and white armor, blue skin, bald head. Yeah, that's Zavala.
Yeah, I like him. I didn't know Destiny 2 still had fans, to be fair, but yeah, go for it. Why not? Lovely that. Lovely. Next.
It's got loads of fans.
All 10 of them.
It's just fun to play on your own instead.
Yeah, it is.
THQ Nordic posted his last Ronin teaser on Twitter earlier this week. They posted the following: says, "Who is the last Ronin? In a future battle-ravaged New York City, a lone surviving turtle embarks on a seemingly hopeless mission seeking justice for the loss of his family. The official video game adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin coming to PC, Xbox Series X. Not PS5 though.
No, it is PS5. It literally says it right there, PS5.
Gadget.
It would have upset me that. It would have upset me.
I was playing. I was doing it on purpose. I was waiting for a reaction.
But people don't know who the last Ronin is. Could I spoil it for you all?
No, because I want to know the story. I want to play it and know the story. So yeah, this is set in a futuristic war-ravaged New York City. Dark tones aimed at an older, more mature audience, based on a limited graphic novel where only one Ninja Turtle survives. Senior VP of Paramount compared it to games like God of War. And yeah, it's coming to all consoles. It's developed by Black Forest Games, and it's still likely to be a few years off.
All the party dudes will love that game.
I'm well excited for it.
Yeah, it does look great. And obviously, drumming up interest with the new Turtles film out at the minute.
Yeah. The last Turtle game was great. I mean, it's good. The last Turtle game is completely different, but
I love Turtles.
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. If anyone's like got any passing interest in Turtles, I do recommend the books. They are not cartoons. They are brutal. They are adult.
Yeah, I read the original graphic novel years ago, and it's
the black and white one is so fucking good.
Was quite surprised when like someone gets stabbed and there's like a blood spurt. I was like, oh, this is not what I grew up with, but I like it.
Yes.
I bet it's not as good as the original films, though. The live action ones, they were banging.
Don't be stupid.
The first one's great.
Yeah.
The second one less so.
The third one, we don't talk about that.
The third one when they go to Japan, like feudal Japan. I love the Turtles so much, and I'm just glad that it's back in the zeitgeist. It's all back. Everyone's Turtle mania is coming back. I might get the Turtle van again. I might just buy myself a Turtle van.
Why not?
I fucking love my Turtle toys.
Go Ninja, go.
Yes. Get Vanilla Ice back now. Love it. I'll play shit out Last Ronin. It's a great book. If you don't want it spoiling for you guys, don't read it before you play the game because there's some big.
Someone's going to spoil it. I'm going to have to mute it on
and it's
Twitter
not,
or something.
The big spoiler's not who the Last Ronin is. It's some parts of it. There's more spoilers to it. It's one of the Turtles. Obviously, you all know that, but it's just it's a great novel. Really good. Next.
South Park Studios announces next South Park game. An all-new South Park game is coming, but in 3D. Captain Stan, Kyle, and Kenny are back in three-dimensional glory to celebrate the most magical day of any young kid's life, a snow day. Grab up to 3 friends and battle your way through the snow-ploughed streets of South Park on a quest to save the world. Enjoy a day without school. South Park comes to PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch in 2024. I don't like the look of this.
Multiplayer?
No, it looks like a pile of shite.
It sounds like. Are there loads of turkeys again?
No, I don't mind there being like it. You don't have to play it with friends. You can play it by yourself.
But it's not an RPG like the last two, which were amazing.
No, I think it's meant to be more like Diablo style.
Yeah, it's doing ARPG.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I don't like the style at all. I like the fact that the last 2 games were like in the style
program
of a South Park program, like you were in the episode. This does not. This is giving me vibes of that PS South Park game.
N64 one.
Yeah.
Also, I think making a game out of South Park, it works as an RPG more than an action game.
Well, it played on the jokes of that, like when you're in mid boss battle and it's like car, and they all have to get off a road and wait for a car to go past. And like when the difficulty options and the darker your skin, the harder the game was.
Yeah.
Or like being a Jew, which is like a paladin. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, they did such a good job with Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole. Like this one seems like a misstep. It might be a really fun game to play, but
could be.
I think as soon as I saw that trailer and I saw kind of Cartman in his wizard hat in 3D, I was just like, yeah, South Park doesn't work in 3D.
Like 3D South Park. That's disgusting. I don't want to see when you just see Kenny's silhouette outside of his head. It's just a big dome coming out of his face. It's awful.
No, I mean, it's like seeing like South Park like figurines or plushies in the real world. It's just like, it doesn't look right.
Bring back Chef's Love Shack. Remember that game? Bring that back. That was a right good game, that.
These chocolate slotty balls.
Yeah. We're not getting none of that Isaac Hayes anymore, though, will we? We won't get any Isaac Hayes stuff anymore. That man's retired.
He retired hard.
He retired very fucking hard, mate. What a fall from grace. Next.
Tekken boss Katsuhiro Harada hits back at silly threats for irate Eddie Gordo fans. Veteran developer of the series and director of Tekken 8 has spoken up about the trolling and harassment, causing real damage to the team's morale and even incurring additional financial costs to the larger fighter gaming community. Harada shared an image where one individual threatened to hit him with a burning hammer if the Eddie Gordo wasn't part of Tekken 8. Basically, because Eddie Gordo hasn't been like announced yet, dickheads have been dickheads.
Why can't they announce him later on as a guest character at some point? Or
notably, they haven't revealed the entire roster. There was,
like all fighting games do.
There was a leak from the devs. Someone like took a photo of a screen that showed like an early version of the roster, and Eddie Gordo wasn't on it. wasn't
It
on
might
it,
not be
rather.
part of the story. Stig knows the lore of Tekken's deep and vast.
Well, also, it doesn't fucking matter. It's a game.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
if he's
plenty
not in there, play a different character.
Is Christy in it?
Also, I don't know. Also, all these games, all these characters eventually come out as DLC or
Yeah.
unlockables anyway. So
Exactly. They never
Eddie
never
Gordo
miss
is
anyone
too
out.
busy looking after his orphanage to play it.
Exactly. Because that's what he did at the end, I remember.
Too busy with the kids that he's
Yeah.
fighting in some silly little tournament for dick waving.
Last few games, they had Eddie and Christy in the same game. You had two capoeiras. Stop moaning.
It's absolute madness that people are moaning like this and like actually threatening developers because a
Well,
character
they don't deserve
is
the
not in
fucking game.
exactly a character is not in the 15th iteration of the game that they love. Like fuck
He
off.
will turn up. There will be
Yeah,
a
of course
capoeira
he'll
fighter
turn
in
up.
that game. It's the whole game's a love letter of martial arts, and it's one of the biggest martial arts
He's a
capoeira.
cheat fighter anyway. Even though I love playing out of him, he's a massive cheat fighter.
He is. No one's mastered Eddie Gordo, have they? Nobody's mastered
spinning
it.
around on his hands and just like kicking people.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how cool it is. You're not going to go and attack someone with a flaming hammer, are you? If he's not in it.
All
I mean,
care
maybe you would. I
about-
might be wrong.
All I care about is Armor King and Paul Phoenix. That's all I'm about. That's all I'm
You
bothered
seen
about.
Paul Phoenix's hair?
Yes, it's insane.
Lost his gel, hasn't he?
Yeah. I love Paul Phoenix. He's my main,
What?
and Armor King's my second main.
When is Tekken
I'm
8
a
out? Is it this year?
No, they don't know yet. There's no official date yet.
Again,
think-
Armor King is slightly different to King, remember?
I think they're going to delay it till 2024 just because of Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have 3 temple fight.
Ah,
It
beats
just
Armor
looks
King's-
stunning, though. The game looks
Steve-
stunning.
It's too slow for me.
Is it?
I like to be a bit faster.
Yeah. Cool. Well, stop being dickheads, gamers. Oh,
Well,
I hate gamers.
from well, this isn't so much gamers, more so much the backlash of gamers towards the developers. Overwatch 2 swiftly branded Steam's worst game of all time. Overwatch 2 was released on PS5 and PS4 back in October 22, and the shift to free-to-play drew massive crowds initially, but deeper issues were quickly discovered. The player base has been declining ever since, which is fairly normal for service games, but with what's new for Blizzard is the great equalizer Steam, launching into the
Egalitarian.
painful to expose ecosystem on Friday. Overwatch 2 was immediately pummeled into oblivion, free falling to the very bottom of Steam's 250th Hall of Shame list.
People don't like
Gadget.
that game.
You tell us the story because you know it all.
Yeah, so Overwatch was considered one of Blizzard's kind of top games when it first came out in 2016. I loved it. I played so much of it. Great multiplayer shooter. It had microtransactions, but there were kind of loot boxes, but you also you would get loot boxes every time you leveled up. So like
Was it just for skins, so it wasn't for game?
and it was
game.
it was just for skins, it was just for sprays,
I'm fine with that.
cosmetics.
I'm fine with
kind of thing. And also, notably, there were £2 for a loot box. Like it was quite cheap comparatively for loot boxes.
Cost Gadget £400 that week.
I think I put about 50 quid into it all told. But I played about 500 hours of it, so I was fine.
Who was your main?
I was a support main, so Mercy was my main.
I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you've told the world.
She's the one that looks like an angel and the feature of most
I
of the
do know
Overwatch
who that
porn.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, I do know that. Not from the porn, guys. Not from the porn.
But yeah, I was a very good healer, and I saved a lot of fights. Anyway,
Just like real life.
so when Overwatch 2 was announced, what they said was that they were going to create a PvE story mode for it, because there would always
Ooh,
be
nice.
these kind of PvE special events for it, which would give some of the lore. And there was a lot of good lore to Overwatch. There's a lot of interesting storytelling going on in a multiplayer game, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
But then Blizzard turned out to be a shower of bastards. All the kind of sex scandal stuff came out with them and Activision. Jeff Kaplan, the game's lead, left because he saw the direction the company was going. And they released Overwatch 2 last year as a bit of a mess. They got rid of the PvE campaign, just dropped it entirely. They changed the party composition, so instead of 6v6, it was 5v5, which meant fights were slower and more awkward. New heroes became paid for, I believe, or paid for early access. They put in a battle pass. Skins are now like 25 quid for legendary skins. and they're not that
Wow.
imaginative either. And then they keep recycling special events. So like you still get like every Halloween, you get the Junkrat Horde mode event and shit like that. Every Christmas you get the May snowball fight one and stuff
So
like
what
that.
I'm
Like,
gathering from this is the company don't give a fuck.
company don't give a fuck. They also got rid of the people who were charged with like removing the toxicity from the game. So the voice chat and text chat in it is just an absolute mess of horrible people. And they fucked it. They basically they took one of Blizzard's best games and absolutely ruined it with lacking support. They screwed around
Mate,
the
that
esports
fucking
division.
company's fucked.
It is, and the thing is, like they never would have got any of this feedback because normally, like all the games just come out on BattleNet, not Steam. So this coming out on Steam has just meant people could just voice their opinions in the reviews, and it's absolutely smashed it down the list. It's thoroughly
I'm glad.
deserved. And
This is the first year of my first time in my life that a Diablo game's come out and I've not bought it.
same. I've had every
I'm just,
Diablo
not,
game
I'm
since
just
the first
done.
one.
I'm just fucking done. And it's not even a political stance or anything like that. I know
Done.
they don't produce the quality that they used to produce.
No, they're just microtransaction everything to death.
Yeah. I'm just not down for it anymore. I've just
No.
had enough. I'm finally voting with my wallet. My
Excellent.
tight, chained up wallet.
That wallet that only opens if you're absolutely sure that money is to be spent.
There's moths in that fucker.
Well, speaking of a game that won't transaction you to hell, Baldur's Gate 3 is currently the best reviewed PC game of all time on
Wow.
Well
Metacritic.
done. It's officially better than Half-Life 2.
It sits at number one with 97. Number two is Disco Elysium: The Final Cut at 97,
Well deserved.
and Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3, God,
2. He's just announced it. It's official. It's happening.
I just made myself sad. Half-Life 2, 96. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. More on that later. But yeah, well done, Baldur's Gate 3.
Well done. Well done, Larian. I've always been a big fan.
Larry are very, very good at what they do.
As a new studio in comparison to some of the huge ones, it's fucking great to see that these kind of things are in good hands. But more on that later.
On to World of Film
and Flame to Flame.
Film on TV. Disney Plus is following in Netflix's footsteps. Bad news, password sharers. Disney Plus is also initiating plans to cut down on sharing accounts months after Netflix brought in the controversial changes. Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed the news in the company's latest earning calls, saying it will come into effect in 2024.
Brilliant. Well done, Netflix. Look what you've done now.
Yeah, but also it's actually worked out all right for Netflix because their subscriptions have gone up. So
I'm not
It's
paying for
br-
Disney Plus. My friend is, and I
Yeah, I
don't
know.
like this one bit.
I pay for
Do you know-
Netflix. My brother pays for Disney Plus. So
You know,
Now
you can
we're-
all get like free Disney Plus for a year with your phones and stuff like that, don't you?
I've
Oh,
Yeah,
find
but that
it
involves going
somewhere.
on a phone contract.
yeah.
No,
not
but when you
Apple.
do anyway, at least you're getting a year out of it.
I don't go on phone contracts.
Not all of us can afford to buy £1,000 phone.
Hey, you don't have to buy £1,000, do you, Gadget?
I have to go on phone contracts.
So do I, mate. I'm fucking tight.
It's the only way
yeah,
I can,
yeah,
it's the only way I can
there's
get a
loads of
brand
ways
new
to do
top
it.
of range phone.
Yeah, same.
You could
But
also-
again, I've never password shared anything before because, again, we're being tight. If I'm paying for something, no one's using my shit. My mum's asked me before. She asked me once.
I love that you're so tight you won't let other people mooch off you.
No,
Brilliant.
I won't. My mum asked me once. She went, "Can we borrow your Netflix for a week?" I went, "No, because I'll never see it back. I'll never see it back."
You know, you can still log into it when others are logged in,
Yeah.
right?
No,
weird
I didn't
thing
know that,
about
but I don't care.
The weird thing
I
about the
don't care.
Netflix thing is,
I'm paying for it.
my brother still uses mine, and it just says it's just part of your household, and you click yes, and then you move on, and nothing's
It's a big
happened
house.
since.
You just say it's a big house.
It's a big house. He lives, it might,
There's
a mile-
the East Wing,
might
which
be
has its own
half a
postcode.
mile, it might be half a mile down the road, but it's a
Yeah.
it's a big house.
It's a big fucking house. Netflix is huge.
But yeah, he pays for one, I pay for the other, so it kind of works out all right. But
That's different, though, isn't it? My mum weren't willing to do that. She just
Yeah.
wanted to borrow it for a weekend. You can fuck off.
we'll see.
Fuck off. No one's
see.
mooching.
See how that
nothing off
works.
Me.
But that's not coming into effect for a while anyway. Speaking of Disney, adjacent Marvel Studios FFX VFX
Come on, baby. You can do this.
workers vote to unionize in historic move. So unless you've been living under a rock this last month or so and didn't know there was a current strike going on, there's been disputes over streaming residuals and encroaching of AI. And now another part of the industry looks to banding together in solidarity against the rising demands of film and TV production. Visual effects artists working at Marvel Studios have for the first time voted to unionize under IATSE, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. It's a notable shift, not only because of previous reports about difficult working conditions for VFX houses in the current filmmaking landscape, including Marvel projects, but also because VFX workers have largely been non-unionized in the past.
Mm.
I bet there's some mega crunch that goes on there. Wasn't it? It was Spider-Verse, wasn't it? That they loads of people left.
Marvel's been under the cosh of this for literally the last couple of years because they're trying to pump out so much. Them and Disney are just so much content coming from them that the teams just can't keep up. And that's why stuff's coming out and looking like
is that
average, like in places.
That group on X at the moment that are saying boycott Ahsoka because there's something. It's called X.
Twitter.
Boycott Ahsoka. There's a show called Star Wars Ahsoka, and people are like boycott it, and make sure you don't get the viewing figures it want. And to be fair, like I love a bit of unionization, even when it makes my life hard. Like when they had bus strikes over year and stuff. I still grumbled that there were no buses, but I was still in the back of my head going, "Go on, lads."
But are those people saying boycott it because of this, or just because it's a woman-led show?
Probably because it's a woman. And she's not even British. She's an alien.
Yeah, no, this is a good thing because they've been, kind of worked into the ground and not having, and then everyone complains about how bad the visual effects look. I mean, sometimes you can literally go back to films from 10 years ago in that early Marvel phase, and it looks better than what they're pumping out now because they just don't have the time, resources, and money to do it.
There's also an element as well as the way that industry works. I can't remember who put it out. There was a video someone put out on YouTube about it, explaining it, but it's basically a lowest bidder gets the work, and in a lot of cases, a VFX house will overpromise for the first contract because they know it'll get more contracts going on, so they'll
bunch the portfolio up.
Yeah, so they'll, once you're in with Marvel and Disney for VFX stuff, then you've probably got
10 years.
You might have a good 10 years with it, but it means your first couple of projects are going to be, you have the money for 3 people working 10 hours a day for 3 months on it, when actually the amount of effort required to do it needs 5 people over a year or something like that, but you just have to crunch, and it's
all
awful.
I can say is keep fucking striking. People died for your rights to unionize. Fucking keep striking it, and nothing's going to get done unless there's casualties from it. I don't mean human casualties. I mean casualties from the medium, the art. You've got to do it. There's sacrifices have got to be made.
There is also a threat that the VFX workers have encountered, which is offshoring of visual effects work.
Yes, I've seen this. There's a lot of Chinese stuff and that.
There's a lot of Chinese companies. There's a lot of companies in the Philippines.
Because they're not allowed to unionize.
They're not allowed to unionize, but also obviously, because of currency differences, they ultimately become cheaper. And this is to protect their jobs. So good for them. Get on it.
Yeah, I would back that to the hilt, mate. Every time. Cool. Next.
This isn't so much of a news story. I just want to throw this in for me. First official look at Hayao Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron, with some images found their way onto the internet this week. And I'm just happy to report it looks very nice and a lot like a Studio Ghibli should look. After
so it doesn't look like earwig.
Yeah, doesn't look like earwig. So that's
it looks lovely. I saw these images as well. I was like, you get them warm fuzzies in your belly.
Yeah, it's typical Miyazaki as well. You got a heron there, and the heron has human teeth. You know what I mean?
Of course it does. I mean, when was last time you were close to a heron, Stig?
Yeah.
All got crunchy teeth.
Yeah.
I've been to Turkey.
Turkey teeth. Heron teeth.
Nice. It wouldn't be a news story if we didn't have something like an Oppenheimer or Barbie thing, but Oppenheimer has joined Letterboxd's 1 million watch club, second fastest film to pass the milestone behind Barbie. It's also joined the top 10 highest grossing R-rated films of all time.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Last two here. Oh, 3 actually. Sacha Baron Cohen plans Ali G comeback. Sacha Baron Cohen is planning to revive
This
Ali
can't
G.
go well.
The infamous spoof wannabe gangster who became a comedy star 25 years ago for a new stand-up tour, Ali G, became a hit thanks to his prank interviews and unsuspecting experts on his TV show in the early 2000s. He then starred in his own film and has made occasional appearances in recent years. Variety reported that Baron Cohen has been working on stand-up tour, which Ali G will feature.
Oh no!
No details.
I can already
details
hear
on that.
the hands rubbing together of Richard Madeley going, I can bring it back. I can bring it back. The most cringy British moment of all time. Not realising that Sacha Baron Cohen was doing it spoofily, but Richard Madeley thought it was legit.
We're going to get a load of fucking kids on TikTok just shouting "Booyakasha" all the time, aren't we?
Yeah,
I cannot wait. I'm actually pumped.
The thing is, right, the best thing, and Cohen's always been the same with all his stuff, he is the best when he's outside of Britain and he's interviewing politicians. Not even just Americans, there was loads. He went to South Africa and everything.
Oh, yeah.
When he's out of this country, because we all know him. We know, but we could tell that Borat was him. We could tell that Ali G is him. We could tell that Bruno is him. But anywhere else, for some reason, they've got these blinders on. They can't tell it's him. And he can. When he made Gianni, the fucking old New York mayor,
Yeah.
he made him admit that he was fucking being
Giuliani.
disgusting with women. Giuliani,
Yeah.
that's it. And it's like, you helped put that man away. Well done. He's a political activist in his own right, isn't he?
Well, he's a very intelligent man, Sacha Baron Cohen, and
Very
he has a
intelligent
lot of
man.
good points. But God,
However, the
I
fan
always
base is not the same.
Yeah, I always found the Ali G character to be utterly grating. Like his other characters, I really like, but
I still, to this day, think Bruno's his best character.
I think Bruno's
I
his
like
smartest
Borat.
character. But
Bruno is smart when he's in the ring and he's Straight Dave or whatever he's called.
yeah.
And he ends up copping off in front of all the hillbillies with another man.
Ali
And
G-
they're all
Very brave.
fucking-
I've always liked Borat and the way.
Borat's
there's-
incredible, but you can't do that anymore because
No.
everyone knows who Borat is.
There's several times he should have been killed as Borat in those two films.
He had to get a police escort out of the country, didn't he, at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love it because he is an activist as well as a comedian. And have you seen him as a public speaker? He's so
Yeah, yeah.
enthusiastic about equality and stuff. And beautiful man by all accounts. So
Yeah.
bring it on. But I think he could bring a different
It's part of a
vibe to Ali
stage
G.
show, though, isn't it? It's part of a stage
Yeah,
show. So it's
I
not
might
really
go see him actually. I might
Yeah.
go see it.
Music. Skindred comes second in battle for first UK number one. The Welsh band found a new audience via
Love
TikTok
Skindred.
dance trend has reached number 2 in the UK charts. The band's 8th studio album, Smile, was beaten to the top spot by Cian Ducrot's Victory. Don't know who that is.
Nope.
Their success
Come
comes
on, Grandad.
after a viral dance video to their 2005 single Nobody led to the fans discovering the Newport's band back catalogue.
Are they doing the Newport helicopter?
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
I just love a reggae Welsh metal band just fucking absolutely stomping around. They have done some of the best live gigs I've ever been to in my life.
They're every single festival, though, aren't they? There must be like more than one Skindred going around because you can't go to
No,
a
they're just a
festival
very
without
hard-working
Skindred.
band, and they're not young anymore.
No, they've got
Great.
so many. They've got so many bangers as well. Like they're
Yeah,
pretty
they have.
underrated, I think.
No, they're
I
massively
think they're
underrated.
underrated.
I think it's
Yeah,
because
they're insane.
it's the combination of reggae plus metal. Like it doesn't really get out there. It's not
That's
like
not supposed to work.
it's not like ska punk, which kind of like rode the pop punk wave.
I saw Skindred support Prodigy. That was
Yeah.
one of the best evenings.
I went to that tour. That was so good.
It was stunning. It was the best thing ever. And then Keith came out with Skindred for a little bit, and they were all just fucking moshing and jiving. Oh, it was one of the best evenings of my life. And Ecstasy were really good back then. Really good.
Yeah.
Never danced so hard
Remember
at a gig
Candy?
in my life.
Oh yeah.
I think I lost about 2 stone in sweat that night.
Oh, it's such a good. I think it was like a full 2-year tour. That one. I think it was a massive tour, weren't
Yeah,
it?
it was a world tour, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, fucking so good. Oh, I've got to miss Prodigy so much.
Yeah. see, TikTok can be shit at times, but I
Yes.
love how it can just revive a band like that. Eight albums down, 20 odd years into the career, whatever. And
Such
I
a
hope they
niche
get
band as well.
massive. I hope
Yeah.
they get massive. They're lovely lads, and it's fantastic music.
he said they were happy and ecstatic with the result.
As it should be.
Yeah. While smoking the biggest J ever.
Last quick one before we go into the Weird World Web. Usually we don't always do these, but I want to mention this one this week. This week we've sadly lost William Friedkin, passed away at the age of 87.
We did.
For those of you who don't know who he is, he's the director of The Exorcist, Sorcerer, The French Connection, which he won an Oscar for Best Director.
Incredible film.
To Live and Die in LA, Cruising with Al Pacino, Killer Joe with Matthew McConaughey, to name a few.
I didn't know he did Killer Joe.
Yeah.
Good film.
He had such a vision that he didn't bring out film after film after film after film. He took his time, and he was like a director's director.
Yeah.
And just a writer in general, just fantastic vision. And that, again, we spoke about Exorcist other day, but what a killer that film was.
Like the first of its kind, the best of its kind. Nothing's ever topped it.
Nobody's ever topped it. He had a great vision for cinematography and just everything about the medium, and it's a big, sad loss, that one.
Yeah. His final film comes out later this year called The Kane Mutiny Court Martial. It's starring Keith Sutherland, Jason Clarke, and Lance Reddick.
That's got to be good. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
a film where you can be twice sad.
Yeah.
Also with a title like The Kane Mutiny Court Martial, that sounds like it's going to be a big talky one.
Yeah.
I do love a talkie.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a good one for him to go out on.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, that. Yeah, support it.
And finally, onto the Weird World Web. Texas woman attacked by snake and hawk at the same time whilst mowing her lawn. A Texas woman has recounted her terror after being attacked simultaneously by a hawk and a snake while she was mowing her lawn. Peggy Jones from Silsby near Beaumont was carrying out the garden chore when a snake fell on her, seemingly out of the sky. It wrapped itself round her arm, she told NBC affiliate KRC TV. The snake was squeezing so hard and I was waving my arm in the air, and then this hawk swooped down, clawing my arm over and over again. I just kept saying, "Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jesus!" Miss
He ain't
Jones
helping.
said the hawk.
I think this is one of those moments where it's specifically God going, fuck you in particular.
You would think that the snake would be wrapping itself around her leg with a name like Peggy, wouldn't you?
Way!
Oh, fucking hell.
Miss Jones said the hawk attempted at least 4 times to take the snake before eventually succeeding in its mission, leaving blood everywhere. Her husband ran out to see what was happening. I was yelling and screaming. He didn't know what I was saying. I thought I was bit by the snake, she added. Miss Jones said that she then went to hospital where she was treated for cuts inflicted on her by the hawk, bruises from the snake wrapping itself around her arm, and despite not being bitten by the snake, she had a narrow escape, saying, "I discovered the lens of my glasses were broken and there was snake venom on them."
Fucking hell.
Isn't a bird grabbing a snake an image in American culture? Isn't it a thing?
No, you're thinking of the Gadsden flag, which is the "Don't Tread on Me" thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the bad one.
Yeah, the bad flag. Remarkably,
that's it. Don't tread on my bird.
This isn't the first time that she has previously survived a snake bite. Then I feel like the luckiest person to have ever survived this. Miss Jones has been back mowing the lawn since, under the close supervision of her husband.
Oh, in that case, that's fine then.
That's a nightmare to me.
He's there watching.
That's a nightmare to me. I hate snakes with a passion, and I'm not that keen on birds.
No, they're a bit prehistoric looking, aren't they?
I love the idea of the husband like sat on their deck, holding the shotgun, watching the skies for snakes.
It's not a shotgun, it's a bazooka or something in the States. Where'd you say they're from? Florida?
Texas.
Oh, it's a fucking
Texas.
AK-47 or a bazooka or something. It's something like that, isn't it? He's probably in a
Catch
tank.
this grenade, Mom. Oh, fuck that.
I saw that news story earlier this week. That's fucking amazing, that.
The American dream in motion. Love it.
I'm done.
Oh.
Sorry, that was a long news section, but there's a lot to cover.
We needed it. Lots happened this week. Let's get on with the show. It is a Nexus episode. It's time to Nexus this shit. I'm going to give Stig a little rest. Candy, what you been up to?
Oh, do you want to know about a film? Or I tell you what, I've got a film and a book, but we'll do the film because I did a book last week.
Hey, you nerd.
I know, fucking reading and everything. I watched a film called Infinity Pool, and I can't remember who it was. Somebody wrote in about it last week, and Planty.
The week before, yeah.
Planty. You said Planty really funny. Planty.
Planty. Planty.
That's better.
What do you think of that then, eh?
No,
What- yeah.
What accent's that?
I was back to the Newport helicopter. Sorry,
It's plenty. Plenty.
plenty. Can we ascend down, lad?
Oh my God.
wrong type, wrong place, wrong location in the country.
Who does say sen all the time? Anyway, I watched
Sen,
Infinity Pool. That's a fever dream.
I've heard.
10 out of 10. We'll
Yeah,
watch
10
again.
out of 10. Actually, it was pretty good. So the plot is a young couple, the husband of which is a writer, go on holiday to a made-up island who have very strict laws. They leave visitors aren't allowed to leave their hotel places. Of course, they leave. They leave hotel. They get drunk. They get
leave
blowjobs.
hotel.
They leave. They knock local man over, for which they're sentenced to death.
As the should.
Fucking hell. That seems excessive, but okay.
Sentenced to death by the victim's eldest son. Now, for a hefty price, you can pay to have a clone of yourself made, and
No way.
the victim's son will shoot that instead.
Huh?
Yeah. None of which is explained particularly well. It's kind of just shown in very strange images. However, some people kind of like the kick of watching themselves get murdered, and they'll do it again and
Yeah.
again and again, to the point where they don't know if they are the clone or they are the murderers, and they end up murdering themselves. And
That's
this
like the
becomes a
plot
whole
to,
thing.
Invincible, them clone brothers that they can't decide who was the original and who was the clone. Remember
Yeah,
that?
there's an element of that, but it's kind of not this. I mean, it's touched on, and all of this is happening whilst it feels a lot like you're on drugs. A lot of the time,
I wouldn't know.
it's very good. It's very fun. I'm absolutely obsessed with Mia Goth at the moment. I absolutely love her as an actress.
Which one's Mia Goth? Remind me, what's she been in?
She's been in
X.
I'm going to Google
Pearl.
it, don't worry.
X, and she's been in, what was the other one I reviewed the other day? Pearl. And she's
Oh,
basically,
yeah.
She's
Yeah.
basically a kind of new screen queen, but actually she writes a lot of the films as well, and she's a writer and producer as well. She's
She's
incredibly
very
talented.
bloody handsome as well.
Very bloody handsome. She looks just like a sort of late 60s, early 70s.
She does.
Glamour
she
queen.
does, yeah.
But she's such an amazing screen queen. But she's amazing in this. She plays annoying so well. It also stars Alexander Skarsgård as well, the Eric the
And
Vampire.
he's not fucking ugly, is he?
Not at all. And there is tit and there's penis as well. So if you're into that, which I am very much,
Yes.
it's a film for you.
What's it
It's-
called again?
Infinity Pool.
Infinity
It's worth a
Pool.
watch, but be prepared that it's going to give you a little bit of a headache, I think.
I really want to watch it, but we're like, Kate was just like, she knows it needs to be a film we have to be in the mindset for.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. So I've watched that, and I watched 2001 recently, and there was another film. I can't even remember what it was now, but every single film recently I've been watching have been fever dreams, so I'm starting to question my own sanity.
I mean, the thing is, I've just looked this up on Wikipedia. This is directed by David Cronenberg's son, so you have to expect a level of fucking weirdness.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Brandon Cronenberg's
Have you
director.
seen
Yeah.
Possessor, Candy?
No.
Oh, you want to go? There you go. You want to go into another fever dream like that? He directed that one as well. Fucking hell, that is.
That was the other film I watched. That fucking horrible thing you made me watch. What was it called? Society.
Society, yeah.
So I watched Society. I watched 2001. And I've watched this Infinity Pool.
Yeah, but that ending to Society.
Top it off for the
Oh my
week
God.
with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Let's top it
That's
off.
easy. That's child's play compared to these.
Watch Possessor. You'll not honestly.
Should I actually though?
If you want to carry on staying in this fever dream, yeah.
I do not. I do not want to stay in it. I want
It's
freedom.
affecting a work stick.
I
She
want
don't know what
sanity.
reality is.
I've got a Twitch now.
It is brutal. It is fucked
She
up.
keeps pinching herself. Am I awake? Am I
Yeah,
still
give me
breathing?
a couple of months and then I'll watch it. So yeah, the other one I'll just quickly because I didn't take long reviewing that because there's
You didn't?
not. I mean, I didn't. But the thing is, if I talk too much of it, it'll kind of ruin it. You sort of have to go in
10 out of
knowing
10.
not a lot about it. I read another chicklet book this week. So after the success of the last one I read, How to Kill Your Family, one was suggested to me called None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. She's a best-selling author. I don't know. This is not normally the kind of book that I go in for, but I read the synopsis and it centers around a female podcaster. So this is the one for me. So a pair of 45-year-old women, one of which...
Your age as well.
Oh, do be quiet. I'm 21. I'm 21 and I'm a young-looking 21 as well, I think you'll find.
I agree.
So, first of the women is out on a birthday dinner at a local restaurant. She overhears another party. It's another lady having her 45th birthday. And she finds out that she's a podcaster, and she convinces this podcaster to do a podcast on her life because she's hoping to make a massive change and she wants it to be documented. The podcaster agrees, and it becomes more and more of another mindfuck. This woman has gone through supposed grooming. She's got very unconventional daughters as children. She has a husband who's over 40 years older than her, and she seems to have just been through the absolute ringer with this woman. Turns out, bit of a nutter. Which is where the title "None of This Is True" comes in.
You tell me a podcaster's a nutter. Don't believe you.
I know, right? Surely it's the podcasting that made her become a nutter. It's kind of told from the perspective of it being a new Netflix documentary. So, you know, like Making a Murderer, that kind of thing. So,
and the Tindler Swindler.
Exactly that. So there's people kind of talking about it. Was it true? Was it not? Was this person in on it? Kind of that sort of thing. So it's like a crime thriller, which, like I said, it's not my type of thing. But actually, this was really entertaining. It was not quite such light reading as How to Kill Your Family. That really is a kind of trashy novel. This had a bit of brain to it. This had a bit of thinking.
You're going through your 40-somethings trashy phase, aren't you?
Do you know what? I think I've entered a new phase of life.
Yeah, this is you now. This is you now.
I recently had a birthday.
You'll be reading Mills and Bones next.
Oh, yeah.
And he grabbed his throbbing member.
It's been next. So long since I had a throbbing member.
Oh, God. Didn't mean it like that. I mean, the number one rule is to never, ever admit to anyone in public that you are a podcaster, because it just opens up a massive can of worms.
I got fucking papped.
Definitely
Bizarre. I spoke about that to my therapist this afternoon. Yeah, somebody. Okay, it might have been Robotic Monkey. I can't remember. Monkey. Saw me at Zaza.
Oh, Zaza
not good enough.
Great.
Not good, is it? Being famous, it's shit.
Should have got Gadget.
It was more the fact that I probably had about 4 plates in my hand, not for my friends, for me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's a buffet place, isn't it?
Oh, it's
fighting
so good.
people off. Fuck off, I want that bit of sushi.
I like buffet places because, you might think, it's a bit pricey, but you can't stop. And it's perfect. It's perfect.
You can have your entire calorie intake for the rest of the week, and you're good.
I take boxes with me. I take lunch boxes with me.
That's a good idea.
I have a plate.
We are eating for a week.
It's got pizza, it's got sushi, it's got chicken wings, it's got Indian food on there. It's all on one plate.
And that's just to get you warmed up.
Yeah.
That's once you decide what you actually want for dinner.
And when you sit there and you put you go, oh God, man, I couldn't eat anything else. I felt like I've had a basketball and chips for dinner. But then you're like, oh, desserts.
Those puds look nice.
Separate compartment.
Chocolate fountain. Back to the book. Good. Recommend.
What's the book called?
None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell.
It's true. Cool. That's you done.
That's me done.
I'll go next. I've just been playing a game. I fucking hate games, but I've been playing them. Remnant II. I wanted to talk about this other week. Now, I talked about Remnant. This is how long we've been podcasting when the first one came out.
Yeah, it was quite early on while we were doing it.
Yeah, I sang its praises. I was like, oh, this is closest I've felt to a Souls-like actually hitting the mark. Remnant 2's transcended that. It's not Souls-like anymore. It's its own thing.
I've heard very good things.
It's the most fun I've had in a shooting game since when I first started playing Destiny 2. It's got that vibe. You know, when you're playing Destiny 2 the first time with the Red War and everything, and you've got the farm and all the good times. Remember the good times?
The good Destiny 2.
Yeah, and Destiny 2's, and I'll still say it to this day, probably the best feeling shooter game you can fucking play. It feels amazing to play. You can't argue with the gunplay on Destiny 2. Now, Remnant 2 feels just as good as that, in my opinion. It's a third person, so it's a different perspective. And basically what it is, it's a sequel to the first one. You don't need to have played the first one at all. It helps, but you don't. Even the first one's not even technically the first one. It's the second one, but let's not get into that. But yeah, it's set in a post-apocalyptic world. You and your friend are looking for this Ward 13, this safe haven, and it turns out, guess what? You're the chosen one.
No.
Oh no! And you have to go through a couple of different worlds. These worlds are generated. What do they call it? When it's procedurally generated. However, it does not fucking feel like it. It does not feel like it at all. This is the best procedural generation I've ever played in any game. Now, I've beaten this game 3 times now since I first started playing it.
It's been a slow week for you.
Every single, yeah, it fucking has, mate. I also beat Red Dead Redemption 2 in between as well. So every time I've played this game, every world I've been in, it's been completely different. Not just corridors, not just enemies, story. The story has been completely fucking different. I do not know how they have done this. I don't know how they've done it. It's magic. Like, the first time I went through the world, there was this threat of this, like, scary, like, dog thing, like, from Neverending Story, gonna threaten to kill this jungle world. Second time I went through, didn't exist, this dog thing. I had to do this thing for a queen, and she told me I had to go kill a god. And this was all in the same biome. And then there's 4 more biomes that have got loads more different stories. So you get the gameplay is you can go solo or with 2 other mates. You've got guns. It starts off with guns, right? You have got melee weapons, but it's not about that. It starts off with guns. So you're going in, enemies come at you, you kill them, you get to another checkpoint. Simple. That's the kind of stuff people like. But it's just the actual loop of it is fantastic. There's absolutely zero loot boxing or anything like that. There's no stuff you can buy. There's no skins. There's a premium edition that gets you something extra earlier, but nothing major.
Right.
And it's got archetypes. You can be a different class. I think there's like 5 classes from the start, but then there's like loads of different like super classes. Then you can prestige and have 2 classes in one and start min-maxing. And it's just absolutely fucking incredible. And the bosses on this Gadget, the bosses are like, they're up there with some of Bloodborne's best bosses, which I still think is From Software's best boss work they've ever done.
Okay, you have my curiosity, now you have my attention.
I thought I would have.
I've literally just added it to my wish list on Steam, actually.
It is genuinely and I've played the whole thing alone. So it's doable.
Yeah.
I know I play sometimes like a fucking machine. But it's doable. It's got the thing that most people don't like. Most people like, the checkpointing. They're outside the boss gate.
Oh, perfect. Bravo, lads, because it wasn't like that in From the Ashes.
And From the Ashes, it wasn't like that. You had to start the level again.
I approached Remnant 2 cautiously because I played From the Ashes, and I played about half of it, and I kind of bounced off it. Not because it was a bad game, but there was a lot of that kind of double A.
It didn't respect your time as much, did it?
It didn't respect your time. There's that double A jank to it, and not the fun kind of jank where shit breaks. The kind of just where, like, you know, it takes away the immersion of it, like character models don't work properly and the world seems a bit flat at times. I enjoyed some of the time I had with it, but just ended up bouncing off it. But this, I mean, I've seen a lot of the discourse around Remnant 2, and it sounds fucking awesome. It feels like a AAA game. Oh,
and it is Gunfire Games. They're a AA studio, but they're using that Unreal 5, you know, that new thing. And everything looks stunning. It looks fucking stunning. And again, I've never seen 2 of the same place, and I've beat it 3 times.
Nice.
I don't know how they do. I don't know the magic behind it.
It's witchcraft.
I genuinely don't. And some of the bosses are not just bullet sponges. Some are like puzzle bosses, and I love a good puzzle boss.
Nice.
Fucking love that. It's just really good, and I would love to play it with some of you guys. I'd go through it again from scratch, and I'd do it. But if you are wanting to play it on your own, guess what, Candy? you pick a class called the Handler, and you get a dog.
Oh, what? I'm in.
And he heals you, he resurrects you, he distracts baddies for you so you can heal. There's a single-player class in it, which they didn't have in the original Remnant, did they, Gadget?
Is the dog safe, though? Can the dog be killed?
The dog cannot... It can be killed, but it doesn't die in the lore.
Does it get knocked out?
It's a safe. It gets knocked out like a Pokemon.
Okay.
It's a safe dog. The dog is safe.
But yeah, there was no single player class in the first game. The first game was very much geared around being multiplayer. So
you can play it on your own, but don't.
Yeah, when I was playing it solo, I think I was hitting up on some bosses as well. It just made it less fun.
This game, it scales everything. If there's just 2 of you, if there's 3 of you, it scales everything. Whoever is the highest level in that party, you are fighting their enemies. So if you're playing it from scratch with someone, you should all play it from the scratch. Don't. If I jumped in now, new game plus fucking 3 or whatever, you'd never do anything. But it's just really good. Like, a lot of people don't like swords and shields. This is fucking Kalashnikovs and grenades. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking good, man. It just feels so good. Like, the only person I know that's playing it is Xenos in our Discord, and he's been adoring it as well. And you know what he gets like? He gets obsessed with stuff in a good way, and I'm same as him. Like, there's like secret classes that I still haven't yet discovered. And it's just such it's up there with Gotti, mate. It's proper up there.
What platform's
it's got to go against Dredge, which I fucking love Dredge, but
don't think it's going to win Gotti.
No, especially after what you guys are going to talk about very soon. But I think people should give it a chance. It's 40 quid as well.
Yeah, I also noticed that it's 41 quid on Steam. So it's just like,
it's 40 quid. Ooh. If you're in the mood for it, it's not too difficult. There's level. There's easy, medium, hard difficulties and stuff like that. I beat it on my own on hardest difficulty, guys. You can do it.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot though, aren't I? I'm one of them
you
idiots.
Are, but we love it.
I love it. I love it so much. I can't sing its praise. On PS5 as well, it uses the haptic triggers, and I'm a big fan of that. You can turn them off, but I love it. But yeah, Remnant 2. Play it. Gadget. You got a new device, didn't you?
Yes, so I've got a quick one to do before we talk about the big thing that me and Stig are going to double team in on. The big thing. I left the iPhone stable and I went to Android.
Fucking round of applause, everyone. Everyone on this podcast is now an Android user.
Yep, we are.
People have already gone to sleep.
Welcome aboard.
So I bought a new phone. So I was due an upgrade because I'd had my iPhone 12 for about 3 years. And it started to show its age
ever since I've known you.
Yeah. Battery was a little bit wonky, and I was just kind of getting a bit bored. I've been on with Apples for like 7 years now. So it's like, maybe it's time for a change. And I found out that there are a couple of phones that don't hurt my eyes because I have an issue with OLED screens.
Yes.
And one of them is called the Nothing 2, made by the Nothing Company. And this is it, and it's amazing with its wonderful little glyph interface on the back.
I find it fascinating how them LEDs don't barely drain its battery.
No, they're really well because they're LEDs.
They're LEDs, that makes sense.
So yeah,
love it when you get a text message. Yeah,
it makes little flashes. Some of the segments will stay on if it's a certain notification. Like I've said, if Pip sends me a WhatsApp, the one of the segments stays on. So it means that I know to look at that one. I can ignore other ones. That kind of thing. Yeah, or one of the segments kind of fills up as a timer, or one of them does it if for volume. Stuff like that. It's a really kind of natty little gimmick, but it's fun. I like it. But the phone itself is fucking brilliant. It's got a 6.
For its price point.
Yeah, well, I'll get that second. It's got a 6.7-inch AMOLED display that runs at, it's not quite 4K, but it's higher resolution than the iPhones.
120 FPS, I think.
Yeah, it's 120 hertz screen. It's so quick and so rapid. My only experience of Android is my work phone, which is a Samsung A32, which is a pile of fucking shite. So I was kind of...
I can't believe they've given you one of that.
I was kind of worried that I wouldn't like the experience of using Android because I use that fucking steam-powered shite.
It's trying. The thing is with the phone, your work phone, it's trying to use the latest edition of One UI that it just can't run. It just cannot run it.
It absolutely cannot run. So
you need like an Ultra to run that.
Yeah, so... This is so quick and so rapid, and it's got this really clean interface. Like Nothing have put a nice skin on Android.
You like it because it's a cyberpunk phone. It's
a bit cyberpunk. I love the fact that the back is clear and like you can see the Qi charger and like the heat sink and stuff like that.
The Qi charger is really good on it. Is it like 18 watt?
18 watt Qi charger.
Which is fucking rapid, that, for a Qi charger.
It'll accept some like 65 watt fast charging over USB-C.
Oh, yeah, I know it does. But your fucking plug sockets won't.
No, true. Also, I've forgotten how much I missed a fingerprint sensor to open it. Like
Better than Face ID, innit?
obviously been using Face ID for years, but just having a fingerprint sensor, just put my finger on the bottom of the screen and it opens super quick.
You can finally shave your beard now.
Yeah, I'm not going to, but I can. And it's lots of little features that I realized that, like, the iPhones are good, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of little extra features to Android that I didn't realize I needed, like the ability to share your battery, so like reverse the Qi charger and charge someone else's device.
Yep. I
like
charge these what I've got in my ear now on my
the
phone.
headphones. Yeah, I've been doing that earlier today. I also got the Nothing phones.
They're good, aren't they?
They are good. They're basically AirPod Pros, but 150 quid cheaper, which suits me. And they've got that same kind of clear plastic. But there was one thing I don't like about them. So you know when you, because they've got active noise cancelling. So you know when you transfer from noise cancelling to transparency mode, most will get a bing or transparency mode or
Diddle-it.
something like that.
Mine does. Mine goes. Diddle-it.
Yeah. Do you know what the Nothing phones do?
Did it say transparency mode?
No, worse. They have a.
Oh.
It is a female voice going. And it's so fucking creepy because it's right in your ears.
No, I'm not into that at all. If you were laid in bed fancying a bit of transparency mode, fuck that.
Don't know if you were laid in bed.
Early morning with your big stunner that you've got.
Pip didn't believe me, so I like put the buds in her ear and I moved it on the transparency mode, and she took them out and threw them at me. She was so freaked out by them.
Mate, that's going to react with her ADHD too badly. That's not good for her ears.
And when you go to noise cancelling mode, you get a like someone drowning sound.
Surely you can change that. You can on the Samsung Buds.
I'm going to have to look because it's utterly unnecessary.
I'm sure you can on the app. There'll be an app that you can
the
download.
headphones themselves are great. They've got the same kind of clear plastic design, which I really enjoy.
Stunning, aren't they?
And the important part is So I didn't get the base model. I got the second to top one. So I got the 12 gig RAM, 256 gig storage model.
Yeah, that's the one I'd have got.
Yeah. £629.
It's insane, isn't it, how they can pack all that into that. It's insane.
And it wasn't until I looked into the Nothing company, they're based out of London. It's the guy that used to run OnePlus. He's basically
the Asian guy, isn't it? The Never Settle guy.
Yeah. He's basically left OnePlus when they got taken over by Oppo and become more of a corporate brand. And he's done the same thing again with Nothing. The phone is so cheap for it's not the flagship.
It's all recycled.
It's all recycled. The box is all recyclable cardboard.
It's nothing. It's a Nothing box.
Yeah. But yeah, it's stunning what they've done and how they've made this phone cheap. Yeah, there are some compromises. The cameras are good, but there's a slight
They're
issue.
not iPhone cameras.
They're not iPhone cameras. They're not flagship cameras. But I only take pictures of the cat, so I don't really fucking care.
And you dick.
No, don't even do that. The design of the phone is great. The feel of Android, I'm really enjoying. Having to get used to the gestures.
Android's
on
got
it, 'cause
good, hasn't it? It's got good.
It's got really good. Like last time I was on Android was a OG Pixel.
What, you on 13 or 14?
13.
Yeah, well, wait while you get 14, mate. Boom!
Last time I was on Android was the OG Pixel, and I didn't really enjoy the Android experience that much.
It was shit back then.
But now they've taken a lot of ideas from iOS and kind of combined the two. Still learning the gestures. I still keep accidentally closing apps when I want to go back. But
have you got your swipe from the right side, swipe from the left side clicked in? I like it.
Yeah, I'm getting there with it. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And like I say, comparatively for a phone of this spec, cheapest chips.
We're glad to have you back, mate. We're glad to have you back.
Also, no bloatware, none of that fucking Samsung bullshit.
No, you have to. Have to proper. The new phone day with Samsung, you have to sit there and delete everything.
There was no social media pre-installed.
Oh, it's awful.
And
it's like it's begging you to use Samsung Pay. I'm not using Samsung Pay.
No Bixby.
I'm using Google Pay.
No Bixby.
I don't know. No, Bixby died years ago. Got rid of him.
15 Samsung apps
that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
I don't use. Oh no, saying that I use Notes.
Unless you unlock the bootloader and hack the fuck out of it, but then what's the point? You've lost your warranty. Yay.
Yeah.
I use Nova Launcher. That's great.
I used to use Nova Launcher when I had my.
I recommend the new Nova Launcher is good. Anyway, we are boring the fuck out of the listeners because it's phone chat and no one likes to talk about it unless we're talking about Apple. Fuck Apple. What else you been doing? You and Stig are jumping on board on something, haven't you? You've been playing the Phenom game.
We've been playing the game of a generation, haven't we, Stig? A game that comes around once every 15 years or so. Because we've been playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Starfield.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's next
Sounds to
next
me
month.
like that.
No, unless it gets delayed. Because
Which it will.
Don't tempt it.
it hasn't gone gold
Has
yet.
it gone gold yet?
No.
It hasn't gone gold, that's it. Oh, next year, baby!
Anyway, yeah, we've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is made by what I can only
Larian.
assume is the greatest video game developer of recent years, because they've never had a miss.
They haven't.
I think the only miss they've had was one of the early Divinity games, and even then, that was just okay. Like, Beyond Divinity wasn't brilliant.
It was fine.
It was fine. No, we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3, developed by Larian Studios using the Dungeons and Dragons license from Wizards of the Coast. Coming, nearly 20 years after Baldur's Gate 2?
20 years, 21 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Just looking now, 2000, so 23 years.
23 years after Baldur's Gate 2.
Ooh, older than me.
This,
Older than Candy.
Mm-hmm. And young looking.
So, before this game came out, my potential games of the year were either Dead Space or Hi-Fi Rush. Then not anymore.
No.
Not
This
a
is-
fucking chance.
I'm only 16 hours in. It's already my game of the year. Like, it's just it's incredible.
It is.
I'm saying it off the bat now. I cannot fucking wait for this.
You are absolutely going to adore this, Oodle. So, for those who aren't aware of what a Baldur's Gate game is,
What is a Baldur's Gate?
It is, well, Baldur's Gate is a city in Faerun, a very famous place in the D&D lore. This is D&D the video game, and this is the most D&D game I've ever played, and I've played a lot of D&D games.
I read someone's review saying it's more D&D than D&D.
It is, yeah. You play as either one of a set of pre-made heroes or your own. Naturally, you make your own. Of course you do.
Yeah, of course you fucking do. If you're making a pre-roll one, you're an idiot.
No. You start the game. So, Oodles, with what you know about D&D, you will know this. You will know how important all this is. You started. You've been captured by Illithids and taken away on one of their ships.
Uh-oh.
Love them.
And you have
They're the fucking
the ones with the tentacles coming out their face.
Yeah.
And while captured, you have an Illithid brain parasite put into your head, which should start the transformation process to make you an Illithid. But you fuck shit up and break out and end up in Faerun, and you haven't transformed yet. And that's your start of the quest.
Oh, so what's stopping that happening?
What is stopping that
A
happening?
mystery.
Don't know.
We don't know.
I love a mystery.
This
He
game.
could be an Ellicid, though.
So both me and Stig have been playing this long for he's a little bit more than me because I've been away, but I'm about 15 hours in. He's about 16 hours in. I'm assuming we're both in Act 1.
I'm nowhere. I keep wandering around doing things, like going back to things. Like I went back to
Stig's still in the ship.
I went back to the ship because there's a door near the ship, and I looked at it and went, oh, it's locked. Fuck it, like leave it. Met up with this guy, and then later on I was like, oh, hang on, he's a rogue and he's really good at he can naturally lockpick.
Lockpicking.
So and I went, I could go back to that door and see if I can lockpick it. Sure enough, I lockpick this door, and it just opens up this massive area in this crypt, and like there's a fight in there, and like all this other stuff going on, and there's a really important character in there that if you don't go in there, you don't get. So you could just miss all that out if you just don't go to that area.
Across 2 different Discords, both me and Stig have been talking to quite a few people about this game. None of us are having the same experience. They've discovered areas I haven't gone.
This is what I'm loving seeing.
Yeah, I'm currently in an area that none of them have even reached. Because we've all gone different directions. We all have completely different party setups. Some people have even lost party characters or like sent them on their merry way, and they aren't available.
I had one who got pissed off with me and left, but I then died, and my save was before he fucked off, so he came back, which was a bit disappointing because I like the idea that
scummed.
Well, yeah, I like the idea that I pissed him off enough that he was just like, right, fine, fuck you, I'm leaving.
When I play it, I'm vowing not to save scum at all. I'm going to play the true chaos.
You need to quick save lots, then if you're going to do that.
Yeah, there has been many situations where I've just walked into a room and died. Like we've a full party wipe because this game doesn't hold back. I'm not even playing on hard. I'm playing on balanced difficulty, and I'm getting fucked over regularly.
I want this. I want it to last me all year.
This is a game that you will put hundreds of hours in around other games. I can see. I'm going to play through this multiple times.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. I think the best way to describe it to you, Oodles, because you've played this game.
I've played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 as well.
Take Divinity Original Sin 2, and then
love it.
and then a plus symbol, and then the word more.
I have beaten Divinity 2 about 3 times because I adore it. I adore every aspect of it. And I knew it was secretly D&D then without the license.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they've got it.
Yeah, this is just Divinity Original Sin 2 with the D&D license and just more of it. The
I was looking at it and I was like, I could actually make the Red Prince and bring him back.
If you get,
you know what I mean?
If you get the digital deluxe edition, which we all have because we pre-ordered it, it comes with the Red Prince's cape.
Fuck off! I'm gonna have to pre-order it tonight.
Yeah, it basically comes with some like DLC items related to all the main heroes from.
I would
Divinity
pre-order
2.
it right now, but I don't know how it works on a controller yet.
It works great on a controller. I've been playing on the Steam Deck while I've been away.
Yeah, I played a bit on the Ally as well, but I do prefer mouse and keyboard though for this game.
Mouse and keyboard is better, but given how complex,
surely with a controller mode, surely it's got to zoom into the character a bit more.
No, you can just use
you get the view.
still.
You can zoom in right into the character just with the stick, but
you could on Divinity though, couldn't you?
Yeah, they've made it. It is better with keyboard and mouse, but they have made the.
I have got a keyboard and mouse that I can plug into PlayStation if I need it.
They've got the best possible version of a controller interface for this.
Is it a wheel?
It's multiple wheels, and you cycle through with the shoulder buttons.
I prefer wheel when they use wheels instead of hotkeys and stuff like that.
I don't really have anything I can criticize about the game. Like it's
a 97 on Metacritic, mate.
Yeah, it's been a little bit janky for the first couple of weeks, but they're putting out regular hot fixes and bug fixes, and it's been out major. I had one bug where I came out of a quest and my entire screen went black, and I had to reload, and that was it.
It's not the end of the world, though. That is it.
No.
Yeah, the only issue I have is my PC, so it's not even a game issue. It's just my PC. If it goes into a cutscene and there's a lot going on, it takes like 10 seconds for it to kind of just get itself right.
Yeah, sometimes it needs to be G'd up a little bit.
But yeah,
that'll be fine on the PlayStation, though, won't it? It'll be absolutely fine.
It's just the dialogue options, the options to do things. You could, to say, "Oh, you might miss something." That sounds like a bad thing, but it's not, because it's just it encourages you to explore everything. I got a thing saying, I read a diary and it said, "Explore the cellar." I'm looking around this cellar and I've explored everything, and there was just this hidden thing somewhere, and that opened up a whole new area, and I found this really cool artifact from it, and you could just miss that by not simply reading the diary.
Yeah,
but that creates all these unique playthroughs for everyone. Everyone's got their own setup character. Everyone, like Gadget says, they do the party different. They armor them up differently. You can level up your party, and you can give them multi-classes, subclasses, like all this kind of extra stuff. You don't have to just stick with what the game has. That character's a fighter. That character doesn't have to stay as a fighter. You can then decide to kind of multi-class them and do something else with them. And it's helped me playing Scorched Sheep to understand this a lot more. Because
that's what I was about to say. I am
Baldur's
glad
Gate
that I've
1
got
and
into
2
the world a little bit.
Didn't have this D&D kind of embedded in it as much as this does.
No, it was the world, wasn't it?
No, it was in the background more than like.
No, they did. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were very D&D games. The problem was they were using the older rule sets, which were really contrived and complicated, whereas this one's based on D&D 5th edition, which is what we play on Scorched Sheep, which is the most user-friendly version of D&D.
Which for the listeners mean 5e he's talking about.
Yeah, but what I mean
know
is
about
like
this kind of thing.
The dice rolling and like the way you can approach things. Whereas
I've been fucked over by natural ones so many times.
It wasn't so much like that in
I'm going to get lucky again, aren't I?
In the originals.
Sail through it with all my dice rolls.
I wonder if Becky's going to play.
Yeah.
Can you play multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can join 4 people in a party.
You can with all their games.
Yeah. Oodles, also, you're going to love the fact that this game is gay as fuck.
Oh yeah,
I've seen a few
there
videos.
Is so
of the
much
gayness, and I'm banging to
representation in this game. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Also,
I can make my man with my vagina, can't I?
Yes, you can.
The dream.
Yeah,
the dream.
You could. There is also like consequences to literally every single fucking choice. Like, I don't know, Sting, in the Blighted Village, did you get the gnome off the windmill?
Yes, I did, but I've seen the other option.
So, well, when I got him off the windmill, my character I'm playing, Ta'ala, is a tiefling, and
copied you there.
Yeah, I know.
He absolutely mugged me off because he's a fucking racist. He hates
Ah,
tieflings.
shit.
So I
Sorry,
didn't get the reward for letting him down.
He's like a underground gnome or whatever he was, and I'm a drow,
Yeah.
so like we like the dark
I
stuff.
d-
But like the best, that's a good thing as well, is depending on the race you pick, you could get into a scrap or get through by just talking to them.
Original Sin 2 did that,
I
though,
walked
didn't
into the village and it was just like, "Oh, you look like one of us." Basically, that wasn't the the actual dialogue, but he basically said, "Oh, you look like you'd be one of us." So come through. It's fine.
I will have to say, I'm conscious of time. Let's talk more about this in the green room, because you've still got something to talk about, haven't you, Stig? Or is this?
No,
your
I've
nexus?
got a film I want to talk about.
So, okay, I think the last word I have to say on this game is fucking buy it. Like, I think
I'm gonna.
this is one of the few games that you don't need to know D&D to play it. It's very good at teaching you the rules of D&D.
Yeah.
Like, you could actually go and play D&D after playing this game.
Go and play it.
It's very clear. The characterization is wonderful. The graphics wonderful. All of the voice acting is top notch, because sometimes in these games they get like some like jobbing voice actors in. It's a bit shit. No, perfect voice acting. And always, if you're playing a spellcaster, speak to animals.
Yeah.
Because the animals have the funniest fucking dialogue.
You always like you can kick that squirrel, can't you?
Yeah.
And they also can
There
give
is
you
a
hints.
mysterious cow in one place that won't
Yeah.
speak to me, and it's really pissing me off. Because you just walk up to him and goes, moo. and the character, like the character name on the subtitle is Mysterious Cow. I was like,
But I got
My name's Rice.
what's your mystery?
when I talked to the cow, he said they're always putting something in my hay. So I went and checked the hay, and there was like treasures in it.
Yeah.
So like, if it's,
Cool.
it appears to talk to them. Anyway, yeah, we'll carry on talking about that in the green room because there's lots more.
Yes,
to say.
more on that. Go on, Stig. What's
So
this film you've been
The
watching?
film that I have watched this last week is Suzume, which is Mikoto Shinkai's next film. He is the guy who brought you Your Name, Weathering with You, The Garden of Worlds, 5 centimeters per second. And all I can say is this film is absolutely stunning. I didn't get on with Weathering with You. You all know how much I love Your Name, but this is definitely a return to form. I think it centers around a young girl called Suzume. That's the best way I'm going to pronounce it. She's a
Is
17.
it not Suzume? Suzume?
No, it's because the little
Suzume.
little creature in it calls her. It goes Suzume.
Ah, right.
So,
Fair enough.
but I'm not going to pronounce it like that every time I say it.
I think you should.
So 17-year-old Suzume, she is on her way to school one day, and she bumps into this mysterious young man. And he asks her, "Oh, I need to go somewhere. Can you point me in that direction?" And she points him off into this direction. It's like an old building that got destroyed in a storm or an earthquake or something. And it starts to get like, she goes to school and she starts thinking about it, and then she starts thinking about where she sent him to, and she kind of becomes enraptured with him. And so she decides to leave school, and she goes up to there, and she finds in the middle of this it's like an old shopping center, that there's this mysterious door in the middle of it. And she walks up to the door and she opens it, and on the other side of the door is a starry bright sky, a night sky. Like it's another
Lovely.
dimension, another world. It looks absolutely amazing. But she can't get there. She tries to walk through and she just comes out the other side of the door. She doesn't know what's going on. And in the process, she ends up knocking over this little statue of a cat, which is a keystone. And the keystone is holding in place this evil worm-like entity which is trying to escape the other world and cause destruction in the real world.
Uh-oh.
So what ensues is she starts to then help the young man, whose name is Suta.
Spell it.
Souta.
Souter.
Souta.
Outer, yeah.
It's pronounced completely different in Japanese.
Suta.
And so they go on this trip across Japan trying to find these doors and seal them before these worms come out and destroy the world. They are like huge entities that only these two can see. No one else can see them. And the rest of Japan think that it's just earthquakes, but it's not. It's like literally this entity that rises in the air and slams itself into the ground, killing people.
Nice.
Something happens to Suta, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Don't spoil it, 'cause I'm going to watch
Because it is one of the most left field things I've ever seen in a film, and it's brilliant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the little cat, causes all kinds of havoc. And
They do.
and what he does to him is just amazing. But yeah, she as they're like traveling across Japan, she meets all these kind of different people along the way, and she and through all of this as well, she's trying to discover what happened to her mum and what happened to her when she was a young child. Her mother has died. She's grown up living with her auntie, and there's some memories in the back of her head that she can't quite unlock. And part of this journey is her trying to figure out what's happened. Yeah, it is just one of the most gorgeous looking anime films I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen trailer, mate. It looks stunning.
If you watch, I've been seeing people doing is it 60 frames per second? You know, like where stuff moves a bit faster.
Yeah, they use AI to upscale the resolution.
Yeah, it looks shit. Frame rate. It looks shit when it's real people, but people have been uploading clips from this film in it.
It does look better in animation.
Man, it looks so good. It's
smooth as fuck,
so
isn't
good.
it?
Yeah, and the music again is by Radwimps and Kazuya Shinkuji, and this is like the third time that he's worked with them. The soundtrack is incredible. But yeah,
it's good to see that they're back on form, innit?
I absolutely love this film. It's my second favorite from Shinkai, and
nice.
The best thing about this is I watched this in Japanese. Amelia sat down right at the beginning and said, "What's this? Can I watch it with you?" I said, "Yeah, but it's in Japanese." She sat and watched the whole thing in Japanese with me.
Perfect.
And
Nice.
subtitles. And I said, "How did you get on with that?" And she says,
"Cultured little swine."
She says, "I really liked it. I want to watch more." Like, she said, "Can we watch Your Name in Japanese?" Because she's watched the English version. But
I've never watched. I don't think I watched the English version. I think I watched the Japanese version of Your Name. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
I've watched the Japanese version, but when we watched it originally when I watched it with her, I watched the English version.
She's younger, wasn't she, as well?
Yeah. The problem with Your Name was, it didn't have the budget for English actors. It doesn't have. It didn't have the prestige that Ghibli has, where it's got like all these huge Hollywood actors. So it's not very good in English.
Yeah,
I don't know about this one. I'm not even going to bother watching it in English.
No,
get her onto Ghibli in Japanese as well, because there's something about especially like Spirited Away. The performances in Japanese are so much better than the English performances.
I don't know what it is, but they just the
I like the English acting in Ghibli. I really do.
It is good.
No, I'm saying they're good at it, but there's something about the Japanese acting in it.
The emotion always comes through more with Japanese in these films.
Yeah, because it's designed that way, isn't it? That's probably why.
But it's also animated against them as well, whereas the English dub is having to speak to the film.
Yeah.
But let's wrap this up if you can.
But yeah, I didn't get to see this in the cinema just because it was a limited release. It's now finally out on streaming. It is incredible. If you love like anime films, if you love like the other work from Shinkai, it's a standard like kind of teenage young adult romance. That's what he's
always around there.
Great at doing. But yeah, stunning piece of work. Great film.
Fantastic. Have we got any feedback? If we have, make it quick.
We do. We only have a few, so it will be quick. So Lady Azbat said, this week I've been consuming Palia. I've never been much of an MMO person, but this is right up my alley.
I thought it were a drink.
No, so Palia, I did have to look it up because I hadn't heard of it, but it's a MMO that's in public beta. Think of it as it's not combat based at all. Think of it as an MMO version of like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, that kind of thing. It's like a homesteading game. It's like supposed to be chill and cozy.
I do like cozy games.
I like a cozy game.
Yeah,
I do. Stardew Valley's a game changer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really want to play that, but I'm like, I think it'd be perfect to sit there on my ally, but I'm worried about that.
Mate, I've beat Stardew Valley on my Switch, on my PlayStation, and on my phone.
I'm worried about the time sync.
Yeah,
it's a big time sink.
It's stupid.
But it also has a 15-minute game loop, so if you don't have a lot of time, you can just like bash out a day quite quickly. Xenos has said, I've been on holiday for the last 2 weeks due to a family wedding and my birthday. Happy birthday, Xenos.
Well done.
So I've had a lot more spare time than usual. It's been mainly occupied with Remnant 2 and Baldur's Gate 3.
I
think I already mentioned the former, so I'll make that short. Good game, weird enemy difficulty tuning, has flaws, but generally solid. Do you agree with that, Oodles?
It got patched recently and it made it a little bit better.
Okay.
But I don't know. He played it with friends, didn't he? So he's got mates. I ain't.
For the latter, and he goes hard here, good Lord Larian. I know they've got a reputation to uphold after Divinity Original Sin 2, but they did not have to go this hard on it, and I'm so glad they did anyway. My friends and I have yet to make it out of Act 1 due to dividing our time across 2 saves. One with an American friend, one without, since we can only play with him on the weekends. And we've barely had a single experience that's been shared between the two files because of how different our party composition is. This is going to be an extremely long campaign, but I can't see myself ever getting bored of it. The problem, as with so many D&D campaigns, is actually finding the time to play it when everyone's available. Up until now, I was feeling sorry for other developers competing with Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year. Larian have just come in with a steel chair, and God knows who's going to win between these two in anything due in the next 4 months.
Yeah, it's true. I've already seen that 325 people have beat Baldur Gate.
We'll go through the
3
stats.
in the first weekend.
Yeah.
We'll go through the stats in the green room.
Yeah.
Right.
Angry Kurt is then finishing us off, as usual, saying happy birthday to us because it's our birthday next week. It's a week early, but we'll take your presents
This week.
I'll give you my address, guys. Fuck it. I mean, Kurt's got mine.
Yeah.
Let me something if you want, Kurt. I've got to send shit back to him, to be fair.
Yeah. This past weekend, I went to see Gran Turismo and I quite enjoyed it. The trailer shown pre-release only show the first third of the film, so I wouldn't worry thinking that you've seen everything the film has to offer. The first third is also perhaps the worst portion of the film, as it features a lot of cringeworthy dialogue, and David Harbour's character just comes across as an arse who hates all gamers. However, once you get past that first third of the film, it comes into its own. That's when things transition to real driving, and the race scenes are really well done. The plot goes places I didn't expect given Sony's involvement, but I guess it had to, given it's based on a true story. It's not the best racing film I've seen, but it's one of the better game-based films I've seen, and I can honestly say I enjoyed it more than the Mario movie this year.
Oh,
I like Kurt's review on that, but critics weren't the same. But then again, Kurt is someone that plays racing games. He understands the world.
He's the
parlance of it.
target audience for this film.
Yeah, so I kind of trust his opinion over someone that works for The Guardian that has never fucking played Gran Turismo in their life.
What's his name?
And
Peter Bates.
Gran Turismo won my game of the year over year.
not to
So
mention,
I find
critics didn't actually like Mario either, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of trust his view, and it makes me really want to see it. It does.
I'll probably see it when it hits like Netflix or Amazon or something.
I've got
like
to do
that.
it because I love that last game so fucking much, and I just feel like I owe it to him.
He finishes off by saying, I've also been carrying on with the Resident Evil 4 remake and watching the thick of it, both of which I'm still really enjoying. Inside with the thick of it, he's past the Chris Langham stuff, so he's in the good bits.
Yeah. I heard you guys talking about Chris Langham. Oh my God. What a baddie.
And then he says, you know how much I love a football documentary, and the new one based on Burnley last season's just come out, so I'm enjoying that. I think, isn't there's one just come out for Newcastle? One. Yeah, this is Newcastle.
Yeah. There's a horse punching in trailer. It's going to be amazing.
Standard. It's what we're known for.
Yeah, it's all about, come on, Newcastle, how are we going to do this? We've only got billions of pounds. We've only got billions of pounds.
Only the richest club in the world.
How could we do this?
How do we improve? I know, we'll get the Saudis involved.
I'm same as Kurt. I'll watch all these football documentaries. I think they're fascinating.
I mean, I might watch the Newcastle one just to see Newcastle. Like, it's always nice to see my city represented.
I've been there. I've kissed a girl there. I've been there. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, all that kind of the visual tourist shit. That's the feedback this week.
So, as always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in our show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. And this week, we've been treating you every day this week. You're going to get, even if you're not a patron, you're going to get one of our old patron specials. We've already dropped one this week. I mean, by the time you listen to this, you'll have had 4 of them. And this Stig's gone and handpicked some of his favourites, and there's some beauty moments in that a lot of you won't have listened, just to get you involved in what we actually give back to our patrons every month. Also, Kenny Potter's On Fire. We which one did we last week?
We've already recorded the 4th one. We're ahead.
We're ahead, aren't we? Yeah, we're ahead. Yes. I'm yet to watch the 5th film, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't know where it's going to go, but we had good discussions on the last one. Look forward to that. Also, we're doing a live show. By the time you listen to this, you won't have that much notice, but it's Sunday. We're starting at 8 p.m. because we want to go to bed.
Yep.
It's going to be great. All our live shows are great. We're not doing super spectaculars. We're just going to have a lot of fun, interactions with you guys watching. Be there or be square.
Twitch.tv/modernescapism.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah,
We
Biggie
have
will be back
switches.
for that episode.
Yeah,
won't he?
Biggie will be back and he's bringing a quiz. And you know how
Oh,
those
no.
go.
Oh,
so.
no.
It's Biggie's homecoming. Everyone get
Oh.
dressed up.
You know what? I might treat you all. I might have a beer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's my week off.
Yeah, exactly.
Week off. I might-
It's Biggie's homecoming, so if you don't come and watch us live, then you're not just letting us down. You're letting Biggie down, and that's
You hate
the wor-
Biggie,
Yeah,
yeah.
you hate Biggie, and that's the worst crime of all.
Yeah, how can you hate that? But yes, we have got another segment after I just say this next bit. But if you're not a patron, you won't see us in the green room. But you should be a patron, and you would. But now it's time for a little tender trip down to Candyland.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
I did something this weekend. Oodles, you're going to hate it. I went to the, what's it called? The Wiltshire Game and Country Show, which is
That
all
makes me sick.
which is all toffs in tweeds with the shotguns under their arms going, cows, dogs.
Get the clotted cream.
But what it did feature was something that I've never heard of before. Have you heard of horseboarding?
Oh,
It's
you
not a
s-
torture
you,
method.
You sent me a video of this.
I sent you a video of
Is it,
this.
is it a sex thing?
It's not a sex thing. It's not a torture method. Horseboarding. So it's a subtle blend of horse riding and off-road skateboarding. So and jet skiing.
What the fuck are you on?
And no, not jet skiing, water skiing. So you know those sort of like off-road skateboards you can get, like the snowboards with the big old trucker.
Yeah, the big thick wheels. Yeah.
So it's some nutter attached to one of those being dragged along by a horse and a rider, and it's actually fucking lit.
no,
Like-
it's not.
It is. They set a new record at the Wiltshire Game and Country Show this weekend. 33 miles an hour, horse and rider. Not so much on the day I went. The ground was wet. The horses were struggling. But you have to go around an assault course. It's got these little cones around there. If you knock a ball off a cone, you get a time penalty. They were fucking flying. Honestly, I can't
Did you
describe.
go there with your friends?
Yes.
Me and my friends went to the game show.
Oh, the friends that I went on my gap year with.
Did you wear a little flat cap and a gilet?
No, I wore my goth stuff.
You can't do that. I bet they were fucking cursing you. Look at that.
Yeah, I was
Look at
wearing-
that
I was
trough.
wearing New
Look at that
Rocks.
Trollop.
Muddy day, New
Oh,
Rocks.
God. Oh no! Look, it's the new money has turned up. I bet that's what they said, didn't they? The new money
probably.
is here. The new money.
It was absolutely banging though. But it made me think, like, what else can we do? Like like the blend of extreme sports
Two spots.
and country sports.
Instead of clay pigeon, you fire Tories out of a cannon.
That's
Tory
it.
shooting.
That's it. Just that's it. Just fire 'em out of a cannon.
Into that. Just fire
Or
it.
you go.
instead of a turkey shoot, a Tory shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Basically
Hunt.
the same
Do you know-
thing.
Like The Purge or The Hunt, that film The Hunt, or Hard Target, you set off some Tories running into a maze. You've got AK-47s. They've got their gumption.
What if,
So
That's it.
So I've thought of a new, let's call it like the country extreme Olympics, like Cuntfest or something. So we've got
Cuntfest. Disgusting.
so we've
You made
got
me say that word then.
well, you had the choice to say it. It's spelled COUNT, Cuntfest.
Yeah, I thought so.
Obviously.
I thought so. I said it as one. I said it as one
Countfest.
word.
Oh, no.
Countfest.
So we've got starting off Cuntfest, the main events. We've got monster tractors, monster trucks, but tractors.
Yeah,
Urban,
I'm banging. I'm banging for that's a working class vehicle. That
be alright, wouldn't it?
Slow as fuck.
Urban scrumping,
very
which,
slow.
urban scrumping, which is
Urban
basically just
scrumping.
it's basically just shoplifting.
Find apples.
just you go scrumping for cars.
Yeah, car scrumping, handbag scrumping. It's fine.
Oh, for like class A's.
Yeah.
Scrumping.
We're just scrumping, lad. Manure jet skis.
3 for 100, lad.
Jet skis.
No.
Cheese rolling
No.
is obviously like the main event because that's an extreme sport. I don't care what anyone, unless you
I've
use
seen
like.
them. I've seen them running down that hill after it and breaking their neck.
It is the most violent thing I've ever
Brutal.
seen. But like,
It's brutal.
I mean, you wouldn't want to get the wrong type of cheese. Like if you get one of those like the Dairy Lee kind of triangles, it wouldn't go quite so
That's not gonna
smoothly, would
bounce.
it? rolling a triangle downhill.
If you get 8 of them and put them in the wheel shape, then it would go.
Or just throw 8 of them down the hill and it could.
Isn't it like a massive big circular bowl,
yeah.
block of
Yeah.
It's
E
like-
down?
it's
or
like-
something like that.
Yeah, it's like Skyrim cheese. It's like a big fucking hefty
Big
thing.
wheel.
And people will
Yeah.
literally go fucking
And you win it, don't you?
plummeting.
You win it if you get to the bottom, and it's like a very expensive bit of cheese.
Why-
I think if you get
why
to
not-
the bottom without injury, that's what you win.
I mean, maybe we just change it to the tweed roll and we just hurl one of those beardy tweedies off the side and just see how long it takes me to reach
Like
the
it.
bottom.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, can work. So we've got the tweed
We're
rolling.
just killing the upper classes, aren't we, in
Yes.
these events? Yes.
Don't see anything wrong with this. Eat the rich and all that.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, eat the rich.
Cattle parkour. So you're both herding the cattle and you're doing like jumps and shit off them.
No, not
Wait,
playing that.
Jumps off the cattle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from one cattle to another cattle.
It's horrendous.
There can
Flipping
be
off
like
them.
4 cattles, maybe even 6 cattles.
Swinging off.
4 cattles. That's not even a word. That's not even a sentence.
It is a word. It's just not the right word.
Swinging off another.
Yes.
Just hammered.
And one of my this is my personal favourite, chicken MMA. So, you know, you've got those videos of the chickens with the boxing gloves on them.
Yeah.
It's the old adage of would you rather fight one giant chicken or 100 small ones? You get 100 small ones in chicken MMA. Roundhouse kicking. You have to like kick them out of the arena. But then they
Have
come
you
back.
seen when chickens do that treading stuff on female? When roosters do that on female chickens?
No.
Have you seen that? How they have sex? Like they tread them, they cut the backs so they can't run off and they just fuck them.
That's hot.
Chicken MMA.
It's not hot.
Kind of hot,
It's
but
disgusting.
they're like
Stop treading.
I mean they're like Zelda chickens. Like you don't pick on a Zelda chicken.
They're not chickens on Zelda. They're cuckoos or whatever. Cuckoos?
I'm opening Photoshop now just to make that the title of the episode, Chicken MMA. I'm fucking that. That's amazing.
Chimkins. Egg ice hockey, Coach Bombay's favourite. Downhill oating. Like I struggled a bit with this, but you got a mountain of oats and you go down it like on a snowboard or something. And then finally the scarecrow slalom, which would go straight from the downhill oating to the scarecrow slalom.
It's like a decathlon.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Or we can maybe a pumpkin throwing. I
I can
don't
tell
know.
you now, I'm not turning up at Cuntfest.
You weren't invited. It's only for the upper classes.
Good. Yeah, I thought so. I'm the one that they're chasing downhill.
Exactly. You're the pauper. The annual chase of the paupers. That's the final.
Chase him. Chase him. He's on universal credit. I'm not. Yes, he is.
He's northern. He's northern. Get him.
Yeah, we're going on
must
the
be.
annual Northern Hunt, aren't we?
The gravy chase. Not happening. Not happening. I will fight any toff. But yeah, I like it.
That's
And you are,
Candyland.
as always, a sick and twisted, deranged individual.
Thank
you
you.
for listening. If you are not a patron, this is the end of the show for you. Goodbye.
Bye.